Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. What is your strategy for dealing with poverty in the Philippines? Or I should ask, do you have a strategy for dealing with poverty in the Philippines? Most people never even think about that. We never even think, well, how are we going to deal with the poverty surrounding us when we get over here? Well, I want to talk about it because it's very important. Very few people will ever talk about this. But as you may know, there's a poverty over here that you're not used to in your home country. I think the latest statistics, and well, I'm not even going to talk about statistics. I'm just going to tell you that it's going to be smack dab right in your face. And there's several ways you can deal with it. It's really influenced my stay over here, to be honest with you. I've been here 5 years, and everybody knows that I've always lived around the locals. Well, there's good to that and there's bad. You pay a price for that. I paid a great price because not only am I empathetic and sympathetic, that's just, I'm compassionate. And so from the very first day that I came over here and it actually hit me, my strategy has always been to give back, to help. Okay, but you can ignore it. I guess you can volunteer, but you got to have some type of strategy. See, this is one of the times where I wish I was normal, where I wish I was able to just ignore it and say, well, it's none of my business, because really it's none of our business. I mean, we're not responsible for the causes, so we're not responsible for any of the solutions. Now, I wish I was normal. I wish I could do that. It's gotten so bad for me that I may have to take a break from here because some days it's just so depressing when it's just you're immersed inside it, and it just seems like everybody is broke. It just seems like everybody needs help. Everybody wants to borrow. And, Filipinos don't need me to feel sorry for them, but that's just who I am. When I first started coming over here, people was like, they would stay on the resort. I stay in the resort areas. I stay in these walled communities. And I used to say to myself, man, it's not even the real Philippines. But I know why they do it now. Because really you pay a price when you have to, when it's right there in your face every day. You see little kids wandering the streets. When I left to Save More today, there's a little boy outside. He should have been in school. I'm pretty sure he's maybe 9 or 10. He's dirty. He's at tattered clothes. And you just don't know if giving him that 20 pesos or whatever is really helping anything. Should I even be doing that? Because the Philippines has laws and everything. But see, that doesn't stop you from being human. I mean, some days it's just so depressing, man. Some days I get up, and I'm not depressed for my own life because I've got a good life over here. I'm depressed about the lives of others, about the struggle for others, because it's right there in my face. I mean, I see it every single day, day in and day out, and it has to have an effect on me. I couldn't find anything online, but it's going to affect you. What I've done, I've gotten to the point where I've given away half my money, and guess what? It still doesn't work. I still feel depressed. So I just want you to take a minute just to think about it, because we never think about that. You have to have a strategy. How am I going to deal with the poverty in the Philippines? I grew up broke. I grew up poor by American standards, but nothing like what you're going to see over here. And I know, be honest, those of you who are on your way over here or just arrived, you never have a you never even thought to make up a strategy or to come up with a strategy of how you're going to deal with it. I think I'm going to have to just start volunteering because I can't continue to give away half my money, especially as my family grows. And, I've got a daughter that's getting ready to go to college here. So I've got to find another strategy, another solution to deal with it. Because I'm not going to move out into some gated community. But it was, because I think about it now, hindsight's always 2020. Why I felt so much better when I'd go to Sikiho Island. Because it wasn't smack dab in my face. I was right there in the beach. We had our own little beachfront. The world was behind me. The only thing in front of me was sand and ocean. And I didn't have to see it. If I wanted to shut the door on it, all I had to do was go to my backyard. But when I come back to San Carlos City, and my messenger is full of people, everybody wants a loan, and I did that to myself. And it's getting to the point where I can't even afford to live here in the Philippines. It's my fault, and I'm sorry. These damn chiggers or whatever it is getting me. But I wanted to make this message, man, because nobody talks about the real important stuff. Nobody talks about the real Philippines that you're going to be confronted with. I was looking on my YouTube today. Everything is smiles. Everybody's talking about the cost of living. Everybody's talking about the beautiful beaches, how warm and welcoming the people are. But no one talks about the poverty and to have a strategy for confronting the poverty or dealing with the poverty when they get over here. It's like it doesn't exist. See, some people ignore it because they say it's none of my business. And really, I have to agree with them for real. But I'm not one of them. I just can't ignore it when it's smack dab in my face. See, some people can look at poverty and struggle right in the face and don't see a damn thing and keep going and say it's not my responsibility. I can't save the world. But see, I wasn't raised like that. So I struggle with it. And I'm just thinking that if I open up, maybe I can help somebody. But I want you to know that you're going to need a strategy. You can ignore it. You can give back. You can volunteer. I guess there's several other things you can do. But you better get your strategy together, man. This is one of those days, one of those times when I really feel like, I'm really thinking, I'm really wishing that I was normal and that I could just take a stance like that. Because you come over on a vacation, it's easy to do. But when you live here, I don't care where you live, eventually you're going to see it. It's going to slap you in the face. And it gets depressing over here. For me, it really gets depressing sometimes. And I don't know if I'm going to have to come up with a strategy where I have to take a break every so often, but with a little daughter, I've got a 3-year-old daughter. I don't know how easy that's going to be, but I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to come up with a different strategy than what I've been doing because giving away all my money doesn't work. I'm still depressed. You just, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere I look, it's there. And, you see, little kids because, there's a little boy who lives behind me over here. And there's something wrong with his eye. There's something on his eye. He's a little bitty boy. And I was just asking Marilyn, I said, I wonder if we asked his mother to take him to the doctor or to the specialist and we paid for it, would she do it? See, it's none of my business. I don't need to be worried about that. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. I wouldn't suggest you do that. That's why I'm making the video. You need to come up with something that you're going to do because once the dust settles and you come into a routine, you're going to be confronted with it. It's going to be right there at you. Everywhere you go. I've got friends who don't even come outside. That's the way they deal with it. Some people just party all the time. Some people live in the nice areas where they don't see it as often, where they live around the malls and they live in condominiums and different things like that. I may have to look at that option. If I'm going to stay here, I'm going to have to come up with a different option, a different strategy than what I've been practicing now, because the one I'm practicing now is not working for me. It's not working, man. I feel guilty, and there's no reason for me to be that way. It's one thing to be compassionate, but to feel guilty, I always say, I'm not going to live my best life while people around me are struggling. Well, see, yeah, that's a fantasy, really. Because pretty soon we'll all be struggling. I won't be able to help anybody. So thank y'all so much. I just want to talk about real life stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a real life stuff. Yeah, there's beautiful beaches here. Yeah, the people are so warm and welcoming. The cost of living is a lot cheaper than where you're from. All that is true. But something else is true. You're going to be confronted with poverty. You're going to be surrounded by it. What are you going to do? How are you going to deal with it? These are legitimate questions that you're going to have to ask yourself. So if you're in America, it's early, you're about to get up and go to work, go to the gym, get a newspaper, whatever you're doing when you're out and about. If you see somebody out in the street and they're struggling and you can help them without putting yourself in jeopardy, go ahead and help them. If you're in the Philippines, it's getting late and it's probably getting close to 6 o'clock. It's almost midnight here. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Maybe I'm helping too much. I don't know. But I know that it gets depressing for me over here. And I've got to come up with a solution. A better solution than what I've come up with. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. It's okay to help people. You're going to get rewarded. But I think sometimes, like me, I think you can help too much. Because remember, guys, it's not really any of our business to be over here worrying about the poverty and all of that. But it's a reality that you're only going to hear about on my channel. Come up with a strategy. Think about that before you come on the plane when you arrive. Take care.